I guess he was right, But either way, I mean, we there was some a little lag after that game, but I think we're all focused, all speed ahead.
Corey, you have been one guy who's talked about the BCS and admitted that you paid a little attention to it. Last night, were you guys tuning in at all? I mean, how much attention now do you pay now that you're in position that you've been waiting for?
I don't think that we're paying any attention right now. I think that's the beauty about the position that we're in. We really do control our own destiny. We just have to win this game, and then it's all set for us. We've kind of, what is the phrase, laid our own table or made our own bed. I don't know what the hell, but we have done everything we need to do up to this point, and we can't start doing things that we haven't done. We've never paid attention to the BCS. Have at some point, but that's never been our primary focus all week, was to jump somebody in the BCS or do that. Our primary focus every week was to win the game by as many points as we needed to win, and we can't start changing stuff up now.
Normally, Michigan's the last game, and you have a long break. To know that you don't have that break, how different is it? Is it a challenge for you guys?
I don't think so. I think that, especially with this coaching staff, because they've been in championship situations a lot, at Utah and at Florida, where, they've done things the right way before and they've worked. They've won national championships. They've won SEC championships down there. So I have full faith and confidence in our coaching staff that whatever we're doing this week is what we need to be doing, and whatever they say, we just do it.
Last year, what were you doing 2 days after the Michigan game?
I was sleeping probably. I don't know. Or actually, I was probably studying for finals, and which I am continuing to do this week, and that is a rough part.
How much does that add to everything?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go write a paper after this, and it's a little bit of a challenge for me, but luckily it's another excuse for me to put all the distractions out of my life and just zero in on what we need to do. So it is kind of tough in one aspect, but it is nice in the other aspect where I can just tell people now, like, I got to do this. It's not, people understand that.
Corey, when you look at this Michigan State team defensively, but maybe overall too, is there anything that reminds you of the Jim Tressel Ohio State Buckeyes that you knew as a player early in your career?
Yeah, their defense is played like our defense did in years past where Tress was here, and they're stout, they're good against the run. Their strength in their defense and talent-wise, I've heard, is their defensive backs, and from what little film I've watched on them specifically, they do play very well, and they got some tough, hard-nosed guys up front. So, I mean, from that aspect, yeah, absolutely. Schematically, I don't think I understood the game as well as I do now, so I don't really know if it was like that. But just from a toughness standpoint and their attitude towards the game, yeah, definitely.
With the way you guys have been running it with Carlos and Braxton and the offensive line, do you sort of feel like you could run the ball on anybody?
I mean, I feel that way now, but and that's the way we prepare, and we're going to do our best to do that on Saturday. But we obviously can't get too overconfident with that, and it is nice to know that you can get Carlos. We can not block a guy sometimes, and Carlos will just run him over, or Braxton will make him miss. So it is nice to have that kind of confidence, because it's when you see Braxton make somebody miss, it gives you momentum. It gives you a little spark on offense, and keeps you going, makes you want to block harder, and just feeding off of other guys. So it's awesome to have those talented guys around us.
It was kind of ironic that last year the turning point was the game that was the meeting going into Michigan State. And now it's like coming full circle, and they're that last stop to get to kind of where you want to go.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. We were just talking about it in the weight room the other day. Everything changed last year for us, and now everything's on the line for us. And I'm sure that they are feeling pretty bitter about the 1-point loss last year, and I'm sure they want to get us. They feel like they maybe should have won that game, or maybe should have done this. But the offensive line took over the game last year, where we ran off the 4 minutes left in the clock, and at the end of the game last year. So that's definitely been a point of pride from our standpoint. So we're going to have to do that again this year.
Now that you're going to want to stop your running game.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to do that again, maybe for 4 quarters. I mean, It's something you think about?
Oh yeah, it's something we think about. It's how we prepare. It's everything that we do is to prepare us to win the game. And if we have to put the team on our back, then we're prepared to do that. That's the way we train. That's the way we practice. That's the way Coach Warner coaches, and so it's nothing new to us.
Corey, was it like having a new face on your right there for 3 quarters Saturday?
It was kind of fun. Marcus and I have a really good relationship, and I have a really good relationship with Pat too. And when Pat came in, he was kind of a little wide-eyed there at first, but I kept looking over to my right just on pass pro just to make sure that he was okay, and he was fine. So it was pretty fun. And after a couple series in the game, I didn't have to think about him anymore, and he did a heck of a job. He's going to be one heck of a player.
Did that surprise you at all, for somebody going in that situation?
Not with Pat, not at all. And I can say the same thing with a bunch of guys, Jacoby, Daryl. I mean, those guys, if any of them would have came in, and I'm sure that they would have done the same thing that Pat did.
Do you remember that game when you were first called upon in a critical situation and stuff? Do you remember how you felt after that? I mean, did you feel like you kind of came of age? What was sort of the feeling that maybe Pat's feeling now? You know what I mean? Thrust into the biggest game of the year and coming through.
Well, the first game that happened to me was Purdue of 2 years ago, so I was having a very different emotion than he's feeling right now.
Yeah.
But
sorry, Brent, didn't mean to bring it up.
No, I mean it's a reality. But I'm sure he's feeling just unbelievable right now. I talked to him earlier. He's just got a big smile on his face. He's joking around, and he's feeling pretty good. And I think it's going to get a lot of momentum going in his life.
Corey,
you
would
said
you
that
him
you
to
said that
play,
you have a
Corey?
pretty close relationship with Marcus. How's he doing?
He's doing all right. I can speak for him on his behalf that he is distraught and completely just wiped out and feels so bad about what he did, and it was in the heat of the moment. I mean, we've all done things in the heat of the moment that we regret, and he is, after the game, I sat in the locker room and waited for him after he had a talk with Coach, and he was just at a loss of words and said, couldn't believe it, everything was going right in my life right now, and I was like, whoa, dude, it's just football, man. It's not like your life is off track now, and I think we all did an okay job of bringing him back, and now he's feeling a little bit better, but I can tell you his emotion of his level of distraught and everything is just it's terrible.
Has he gotten any kind of word on what his status is? I mean, did you know of?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I constantly keep asking people too. I mean, I haven't heard anything on it, and I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
Corey, how difficult is this week? I mean, aside from the football game, these guys, the finals coming up, you got a little bit of a bus ride in front of you on Friday, and I guess you guys are flying back Saturday after the game. Just how difficult is it to sort of manage things with the class load as well?
Like I was telling Bill, I mean, it's hard from the standpoint is that you got to work more and work more towards school, and you have to give that effort or else you're going to be ineligible. But it's easier in terms of narrowing your life down to just football and school, and you get to put all the distractions out of your life where people, constantly, let's get dinner, let's do this, let's do that. It's like, I can't do that, I got to do finals. And people understand that, when people say, like, when you say you're tired, people kind of get angry, and then you end up doing it, you end up going out to eat, and, but people understand school, and, your friends and family understand that you have an objective to complete this week, and so, I mean, it kind of helps you to focus just down on 2 things, football and school.
What separates this defense?
Video of you guys watched the Auburn Alabama game on the bus Saturday. Take us back to that moment of what that was like, and then knowing that your destiny is now in your own hands.
Yeah, I kind of wish that video wouldn't have gone out, but now that it did. But either way, I actually wasn't. I looked up at the screen and it said time had ran out, and I stopped watching. And then the bus just went nuts, and kind of scared the hell out of me. But I looked up and everybody's going nuts, and people were saying, some people in the back of the bus were saying, we're going to the national championship, and then Philly Brown actually got up in the front of the bus and said, he was like, sit down, you guys act like we don't have a game to play this week. And then everybody kind of, it clicked everybody, and then everybody just kind of focused in. It was kind of a weird focus after that everybody was kind of sparked on the bus that, like me, Jack, and Norwell came in and went in the cold tubs, and I don't think I've ever done that before after a game. And that level of focus that gave us, it was in a moment of intensity for a second, but now it's a level of focus that, our dream is here, the chase is real.
You had
Corey, do
said
you
that
remember-
you studied the BCS earlier this year. Is this about the way you saw it playing out?
I didn't see Auburn beating Bama, but they did. But either way, it kind of lucked out for us. We did. We put in our work, and we just needed somebody to fall off. And this is the best thing that could have happened to us.
What
Corey, do you
separates
remember-
this
that's
defense that you're about to play, Corey, when you look at them?
I'll tell you what, they got a bunch of tough guys. They got a bunch of good players and stuff, but their scheme up front, the things that they do, how their level, how sound they are on defense and their principles it's something that I haven't seen all year. And their guys are always in the right place. I was watching film earlier, and there was a guy out of the picture, and then he filled the box, and I was like, man, I wasn't even counting for that guy when I was going through my plays. And their level of discipline on defense is something that's why they're the best in the league, and that's why they're number one. And we're going to have to match that level of discipline if we're going to run the ball on them without question.